Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings and my radio show, Operation Freedom, which airs on Wham Talk 1600 out of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern, is to provide you information the bought-off lamestream fake media will never provide. The spotlight of today's briefing is on the real axis of evil. There have been a number of axes of evils, if you will, put to the American public, first starting with George Bush, but I'd really like to talk to you about the axis of evil I was introduced to by Ronald Reagan. Back in 1988, Ronald Reagan got wind of our research in prevention and its means of cutting healthcare costs and actually empowering every American by keeping them safer and healthier. I was asked to come to Washington and work on healthcare policy with the Reagan administration, and at that point I worked with then Surgeon General C. Everett Koop, as well as Jack Kemp, who was a congressman at the time who later ended up taking a cabinet position with the first Bush presidency. I got to know these gentlemen very, very well, and we worked on, if you will, healthcare policy that empowers every person and family and business, so-called free market healthcare reforms. As I was with the Reagan administration, I learned that the real axis of evil was not a far-off land in North Korea or Iran or Russia, but in fact the axis of evil was right here domestically. It's not a right-left axis. The right-left axis, what Reagan taught me, was truly theater. It's meant to deceive. It's meant to keep you distracted of what's really going on, because the axis of evil is an up and down axis, up being freedom and down being oppression, and the globalists work that axis of evil, the up-down axis, like no one else in the world. Their goal is to strip you of your freedom and to oppress you at all costs. So when we start seeing these right-left skirmishes, that's meant to distract you. That's not meant to empower you or to engage you. It's meant to put people at each other's throats, because the more they can divide us, the easier they can work that up-down axis, up being freedom, down being oppression. And again, their goal is to strip you and every American of your freedom and your liberty, and to oppress you and to strip everything you have, to economically destroy you. And I know that sounds conspiratorial, but it's the truth. And it's what I learned as far back as 1988, when I got a glimpse, if you will, a small, brief glimpse behind the curtain. Do not fall for that right-left axis theater. The globalists, the New World Order, criminal international banking syndicate want your freedom. They want your liberty, and they want to destroy the sovereignty of the United States. We must stand strong. And this is why Donald Trump scares the daylights out of the globalist syndicate, because the globalists are all about control. And obviously, they can't control him. And if they can't control him, they can't control us. If you'd like more information about what we need to do to take on the globalists, join me every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern on Wham Talk 1600. You can stream the show live at davejanda.com, whamradio.com, and I also have the podcast available for you every Sunday night, usually by 9 p.m. at davejanda.com. The show and what we do on the show, we tackle geopolitics. We tackle healthcare policy. We tackle every aspect the globalists are trying to go after your freedoms and liberties. Those podcasts, that show, Operation Freedom, is a weapon of mass destruction, and that is why the globalists despise what we do with this YouTube channel and what we do on the radio and what we do with our healthcare policy work that empowers every person. It doesn't empower the insurance companies. It doesn't empower big government. It empowers you. Tune in. Until next time, this is Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail.